Hi, Gummies. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Bumping My Gums. We have a very special guest today. As you can see, I'm so excited about it. We have been trying to plan this thing for a while, so we know that something that is shared today is definitely going to encourage you. So, guest, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Gummies. My name is Antinette Watson, and I am an entrepreneur and a holistic life coach. I am the founder of The Stand, which is a mobile food cart located in Wilmington, Delaware. It's a seasonal business, and I do that like May through September, October. But thanks to COVID, we're kind of on break right now, unfortunately. And then also, I have my own development company, Antinette Develops, and that company I created just to really support people in designing and living their best life. So that's what I do.
So tell us a little bit about your company, Antinette Develops.
So Antinette Develops is really, well, both of my companies are my baby, but this one is my baby. It was founded in 2018. I founded the paperwork, but honestly, when I first started the company, I was too scared and too shy to really put myself out there and to really say that I was a coach and say all the skills that I was capable of. But now within the last year, Antinette Develops has really grown into something that has been more than a coaching business. It's we offer more than coaching. We offer workshops, and I speak, and I also have a blog that I use to support people in reading content, and I have my YouTube channel. So now it's more than just a coaching business. It's really like a whole brand.
To that first, what's your background?
Okay, so my background is social work, and that's really what inspired my journey. So I obtained my social work degree in 2012, and really when I started social work, that degree really, that process was like transformational for me. It was life-changing for me. That was the first time I was exposed to like therapy and being able to heal myself and being able to, like, I really had to be my own client in order for me to be the client of, or order for me to have clients of my own. I had to really understand my own biases and things of that order. So being in social work really ignited a passion in me. And then when I left social work, or when I graduated with my social work degree, I continued my education, and I got my master's in administration and human services. And that really, I always say when I tell people, like, what do I do, or what is my training and my background, I like to say I was trained to literally support humans, individuals, businesses, communities, everything really, in designing goals and working towards those goals. So that's what ignited my passion in just development and helping people. And then also my own background and the way I grew up and wanting to create change in the lives of others that experience the same things that I experienced in my life. Also, what made me want to kind of like move from the social work aspect of development, because as a social worker, I was a case manager. I was a social worker. I worked in a group home. And one of the things that I realized with being a social worker and a case manager and all that, a lot of the times the people that would sought or seek help from me, they were only doing it because maybe they would get medications, or maybe they would get a check, or it was some type of benefit attached to their help from me. And I said, you know what? I still want to be a social worker. I love social work, but I want to work with people who want me there. I want to work with people who want the help, and the only benefit to them working with me is their personal transformation. So that's what really helped me to really move forward in developing Antinette Develops.
Okay. We're actually looking in doing some sort of transformation, and not there because it was, well, I won't get my benefits if I don't go, or I won't get, okay. Yeah, definitely makes sense. You mentioned earlier that you do workshops. What type of workshops do you do?
So I like to do personal development workshops, self-esteem workshops. One of my main, or I would like to say, one of my specialties is that I like to develop workshops. So if you have an issue, I don't like to put myself in a box. So if you come to me and you say that maybe you're having issues with leadership, or it could be organizational workshops, personal growth workshop, leadership workshops. I have all type of workshops that I facilitate.
How can people get in touch with you to sign up or to get more information about your company?
You can go to my website, AntinetteDevelops.com, and all my information is there. And you can also, on my website, you have my blog is there. And also on my website, if you go to the homepage, down at the bottom, there's this Ask Antinette. You have the opportunity to ask me anything that you want. And I love that you have that opportunity. So if you are watching this, can you please go to Ask Antinette, ask me any question, and I'll respond to you in my Facebook group.
Awesome. So what's the age range that you will counsel?
Okay, so I work with 10 and up. No one's like 10 and up, not too young, but 10 and up is where I like to stay in that range.
Okay. And you work with individuals or just groups?
I work with individuals, I work with groups, I work with organizations. Like I said, I work one-on-one. I develop workshops. I also develop programs. So like I like to say, like I can get in where I fit in. Like I can provide any solution for your problem.
All right, I hear you. When you are dealing with a potential client, how do you determine if they're right for you? Because I know when you're a personal coach, just because you come across somebody doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right client for you.
So how I like to determine if you're the right client for me is first of all, if you have goals and if you have a vision, if you have some, like, even if you don't know exactly what it is that you want to do, like you have a longing for something. I like to work with people like that because I know what it's like to, can't not really define what it is that you want, but you're longing for something. And those are the type of people that I love to work with the most. I like to help people develop their visions. I like to help people who come from literally communities like mine, like from the hood, like people that don't even realize like what is possible for them, because I was once there and I know what it's like to be lost and misguided or not even have a vision for your life, but now also what it's like to define a vision and work towards that vision. And those are the type of people that I like to work with. I really like to work with the diamonds in the rough a little bit. Like those are my passion.
So what if you do engage with a client and they're not being very receptive to the coaching? How do you respond to them? How do you motivate them?
Well, what I like to do, I like to be real with my clients. So we're having a community. I'm going to let you know, like, if we are in a situation, because at the end of the day, I support my clients in defining their own vision. So if you don't do the work, then you're the only one that's going to missing out. Not me. 9 times out of 10, I already got paid. Mm-hmm. So this is for you. It's not for me. So I keep it real with them like that. Like I just let them know, like, listen. But honestly, and let me just say, I don't really have that issue because that's why I'm not in social work anymore. Mm-hmm. I work with people who want to get their life together. I work with people who want to do the work. And that's what's so great about Antinette Develops.
Right. So I see before this whole COVID exploded and all of that, you did lunchtime sessions, and then you also on your YouTube channel, you pick topics and you go through like a series, part 1, part 2, part 3. How do you pick your topics? Okay, so I'm still like developing my strategy on how I pick my topics for my YouTube channel, Antinette Develops. At first, I was just going off of like anything I was learning, or like, and then I would go to like the books and I would do all this research and write a whole thesis and then try to explain that to my audience, and my audience wasn't receptive of that. So now what I am doing now is I'm actually documenting my journey and really explaining the things that I've been through in life that can support my tribe, the people who view my videos, and growing and elevating to the next level. So like the last video I did last week, and it did pretty well.
it was talking about my spiritual journey and my spiritual development. And that's in the beginning of my journey, that was a journey that I had to go on to get me to where I'm at now. So I'm really being more transparent in my on Antinette Develops, my YouTube channel, and that's working. That's working.
How do you keep yourself current and your knowledge fresh?
Well, I keep myself current, my knowledge fresh, because I literally love what I do. So it's like I find it fun to look up articles on Flipboard, on my app on my phone, like staying up to date on the current events. I love going to the Goodwill and getting some of the best human services books, human organization books. Like I literally probably go to sleep with books in my bed more often than I should, because I just love reading. I love watching YouTube videos on different topics and really analyzing them and coming up with my own perspective on stuff. But that's how I really stay current. I just love to read. I love reading.
Okay, awesome. Well, how do you keep yourself, what makes you different? What makes Antinette Develops different from Vanessa Samuel's coaching services?
Well, what makes Antinette Develops different is the fact that Antinette is supporting people who has been through what she's been through. You know, my story makes me different. I'm talking to people and I'm helping people that have a traumatic past and have traumatic experiences and helping them to heal from that. Also, I'm just, no one's me, you know. Antinette just has her own secret sauce. So you can't be me and I can't be you. And that's what makes me different. Also, my social work degree. It's a lot of life coaches out here, and people that call themselves coaches and helpers, but they don't have the foundation and the skills required and the things in their toolbox to really support you in making the transformation that you want in your life. So my social work degree, to me, helps me stand apart from a lot of people out here, because social work, I mean, I'm telling you, social work is just an amazing foundation to have when you want to help people, help anything, like help organizations, help communities. So that is really what sets me apart.
Okay. So tell us about the stand. What's that?
So the stand, that's my baby too. The stand really represents to me what everything that I'm like capable of achieving, because that was like my first business where I really like stepped out on faith. I spent all my savings on this hot dog cart. I remember telling people my vision and my dreams. Some people was laughing at me like, girl, hot dogs, what? And I'm just like, what? Like, you don't get it? You don't see it? And right. Then when I finally, it manifested, because mind you, the stand became about July 2018. I'm sorry. July 2018. But a couple of weeks before that, I literally, after spending all my savings on the stand, I lost my job. I got fired from my job. So that was just like a life-changing like moment for me. But after, I always tell this story because it's just like after I spent all my savings, I lost my job. In 2 months, I made over $10,000 at the stand. So I was just like, wow, Antinette, you're an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like, you can do this. You can literally work for yourself. You can really, really make things happen for yourself. So the stand like represents that for me. But the stand, my vision for the stand was for it to be an opportunity for other people. So I want to create jobs for other people, and I want to use the stand to fund youth events because I'm really passionate about the youth. So that's what the stand is going to develop into.
Okay. So when you decided to start the stand, what inspired that? What made you decide to get a food cart and not maybe a food truck or go into a different venture? What inspired that? Okay.
So at first I wanted a food truck. My initial thought, my plan, my vision was to get a food truck. And then when I started seeing how much food trucks were, I'm like, hold up, I'm not gonna be able to get no food truck as fast as I want to get a food truck with like trying to buy it off for cash. So I started thinking like, what other things can I do to become an entrepreneur right away? What can I do? So I one day I was at the beach with my family. And I'm walking down the street, and I'm just like, I'm walking down the boardwalk, and I see like hot dog carts out there, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna give me a hot dog cart. I don't know. It just clicked just like that. Like literally just clicked like that. And then once I said a hot dog cart, it all kind of came together because back in the day, my mom, my pop, they used to have the wood ice stand, and it was called the stand. So I said, I'm gonna call this thing the stand, and it's gonna be my version of the stand, like my pop and my mom did back in the day. Mm-hmm. So that's how I know it was possible, and that's how.
Okay. What type of items do you sell? Because I know you don't do just hot dogs.
No, I don't. First of all, we have the best fried hot dogs on. We also do cheesesteaks. We do tacos. We do nachos. We do the Mexican corn. Mm-hmm. We also, what else we do? We got chips, soda, homemade iced tea, lemonade. So on burgers, people love our burgers.
Yes, so that cheesesteak was amazing. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, thank you. I love the stand, and people love the stand. So. Yeah.
So I will provide the Facebook link because when you go out to locations, you post your locations there. So that's how people will be able to find you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you do private events?
Yes, I do. I do private events, birthday parties, block parties, anything. We will cater your event. All you got to do is hit us up. That's it. We're there.
Awesome. I know what I wanted to ask you earlier. So I know, so you mentioned before how you were let go from your job, but, and then you did the cart, but then, the winter comes and you got another day gig. Yes. But this time you decided that you would leave your job in order to spend full time on your businesses. Yes. When did you know it was the right time to go ahead and leave your job?
I knew that it was the right time to leave my job when, let me see. I knew it was the right time to leave my job when I went to the leadership in my job and asked for a leadership position, and they didn't give me what I knew. So at that moment, I was just like, hold on. I don't need this job. I got my own stuff going. I got my own stuff going on. And honestly, when I decided to take that job, and I worked it through the summertime. It kind of really messed up what I had going on with the stand, and I couldn't put my full passion and energy into the stand. So, but that's when I knew it was time for me to go ahead and go on about my business and just continue to work for myself.
When you were making that decision, how did you set yourself up financially? Because, you have 2 beautiful children and you are in a relationship and y'all run a household together. Yes. So how did you approach that topic with your significant other and get yourself financially in a place to be able to still maintain?
So I did have a conversation with my boyfriend, and we talked about it, and he was very supportive of me and supportive of because one of the things that I am very big on is my mental health. And if I'm in a situation where my mind ain't right, my thoughts is going crazy, I have to break free of that situation. And he understood and respected that. One of the things that we knew for our family was I left my job in November of 2019, and I had a couple of dollars saved up, but not a whole lot to live off of for months and months at a time. But one thing that we were looking forward to was the fact that tax time was coming up. Mm-hmm. So since tax time was coming up, we knew that taxes are going to get us through a couple of months, even when the business isn't making money at the time. And then my plan was to go ahead in May, open back up. And I already knew because 2 years ago, I made $10,000 in 2 months. So my goal was I already know that I'm going to be able to make more money in May. That was the plan, but it didn't work out like that. So now I'm just pushing, working Antinette Develops, and also just keeping the faith and knowing that everything is going to work out and managing the money that I do have to get me through to the next day.
Okay. So when you are an entrepreneur, you definitely have to have that motivation. So how do you keep that motivation to keep pushing, to get yourself out there? Because I know before you said you were a little shy about sharing it, but now mama got bills. Mama doing this one full time. So how are you keeping yourself motivated to keep grinding, to make sure you find to find, clients and things of that nature, to make sure that their business is being profitable?
I think what keeps me motivated, or I know what keeps me motivated, is that this is my God-given purpose. Like everything I do, everything I'm doing in life is what I'm meant here to do. And if I wasn't doing it, I would be kicking myself in the head every day because I'm not moving forward. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So when it comes to like, even with my YouTube channel and me now being the time to share my story, it was time. It was already time to do that. When it comes to, like even trying to stay motivated to get clients, it's just time in my business to do that. And that's what I have to do because I'm a coach, right? If that's what I am, then that's what I have to do. You can't just talk a thing. You have to really put in the action and do what you say you are. So that's what I do. It's funny when you're forced to be in a situation, because before you can say you scared, you can act on fear, or you can stay in fear, but now fear can't live here no more, especially as an entrepreneur. You gotta get out there. Like I remember before, I was scared to even call a school and have a conversation with a school because I don't want to talk about what I do. And I'm like, hold up. Especially after when I was working at my last job and I just seen the transformations that I made there. It was like, hold on, Antinette. You don't need to be living in fear. You don't need to not believe in yourself. That does not need to live with you because you are literally capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do. Mm-hmm. So knowing that, and I think just giving myself time to prove myself to me, that's what helps, keeps me motivated, because every time I feel like I can't do something, my boyfriend motivates me. Every time he always tell me how like I can accomplish anything, how I can do anything. Like that's motivating. My kids are motivating. My daughter is now walking around here talking about, hi, welcome to Antinette Develops, like trying to be a little me. So it's like your kids see you. My son, he's talking about how he wants to start his own business. And that's one of the things that COVID has allowed to happen, like us spending time together, him being able to see what mommy does, and now he's like, oh, hold up, that's the type of job I want to be home doing whatever. But me inspiring my kids, me inspiring my family, that's all motivational for me, because as long as I keep going, I know that I got little people behind me and some people who were born before me or before me that's going to follow suit, and it's an amazing feeling.
That's awesome. So we touched a little bit about the COVID. So that has definitely messed up a lot of people's plans. And I know that that's certainly preventing you from doing your opening with the stand. So how, I know you stated before how you were able to, make a lot of money within those 2 months. So what's the plan now? Like, how are you going to work around that now that it's been a few weeks,
so
shelter in place?
My plan is to I'm just having the best thoughts in mind, and what I'm telling myself is hopefully by July everything will be back up and running. If it's open by July, hey, my first time I was open by July and I did really good. So I believe that we're going to do very, very well when we do open back up. And then also this year, we are going to be downtown. That's the plan. Be downtown Monday through Friday. Before, we were just really opening up on the weekends, but we're going to be downtown. So our location is going to be different. And I just know it's going to be a prosperous year for us. Even if we don't even have the opportunity to get started this year, next year, I'm looking forward to having a prosperous year, because like I always say, I feel like this is our slingshot moment, and we're just being slung back. And when we finally are able to manifest and come out into the world, I'm going to be ready and I'm going to be out there, and Antinette Develops going to be popping, the stand going to be popping, and I'm ready. I'm just ready. I'm waiting and preparing myself. One of the things I'm doing for the stand is I'm getting my food manager's training. That didn't stop anything. And once I get my food manager's training, I get my inspections done. And so I'm just moving forward. I think we're going to be okay.
So since you are the sole proprietor, you are the face for the stand and you are the face for Antinette Develops. How are you going to balance that once both businesses are up and popping?
Okay, so with the stand, like I said, the stand is really about providing opportunities for others. I love the stand. I love the mission of the stand, but I don't see Antinette working at the stand for too much longer. So I want to provide jobs and opportunities for other people. So my goal is to look for people that I trust. I already have a few people in mind already that I'm going to reach out to see if they want to work it Monday through Friday. And then when we have our events, I'm going to handle that way. But yeah, the stand is really just about providing opportunities. Eventually, we're going to get a bus, so the stand won't even be the stand anymore. So I have like a lot of things in place and a vision in place. We started out with one cart. Now we have 2 carts. Mm-hmm. And my mom, she really wants to be the runner of like the stand, the mobile food carts, the food cart in itself. So that's going to be her project and her thing. And that's what that's going to be. And I'm really going to focus on Antinette Develops and coaching people and just getting my personal brand out there.
Okay. What advice would you give? Because, like you mentioned, being an entrepreneur is not for the faint at heart. It's really a lot of work. It's rewarding if it's something that you enjoy doing. But what advice would you give to someone who's, working their job or thinking about, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't? What would you be advice to that person?
I would say, first of all, my favorite quote is that you can be anything you think about and work towards. Mm-hmm. So if you're at work and you're thinking about doing something else, you owe it to yourself to explore whatever it is that you're thinking about. Mm-hmm. That's what I would really say. Like, you can be whatever it is that you want to be. Just, you have to be willing to do the work. You have to know that entrepreneurship is not an easy road. You have to know that as soon as you say, I want to be an entrepreneur, you are saying that I'm a problem solver, because it's going to be problem after problem after problem after problem that you're going to have to solve as the head of your business. And I also want to say, for the people who may not want to be an entrepreneur, you might not want to start your own business. Mm-hmm. I want to say that at the end of the day, you are your business, and you have to think of yourself as a business, whether you are running a business. Like when you are in corporate world, you are a business and you got to handle yourself just as that. So don't close yourself off to entrepreneurship language or entrepreneurship information where people are developing themselves. Like, you should always be in a place of like the development. Mm-hmm. For anybody.
Okay, that's awesome. I really do appreciate you. That's all the questions that I have, but I have 2 questions that I always ask all of my guests. But before we get to those, do you have any other thoughts or motivation that you want to give the Gummies?
So Gummies, what I just want to end by saying is, please, y'all, visit my website, Antinette Develops. There you will see all the services that I have to offer. I work with individuals, I work with groups, I develop programs, I do it all. So if you need support, if you want to grow and elevate to the next level, if you know somebody who can grow and elevate to the next level, please just visit my website and we can work together. And my YouTube channel, check that out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Antinette Develops. And I look forward to communicating with y'all and talking with y'all in the future.
Absolutely. So if money and time were limitless, what would you do?
If money and time was limitless, what would I do? Mm-hmm. Oh, God, if money and time was limitless, what would I do? You know what? First of all, I would go to Africa.
Okay.
Take all my kids and we would just be in Africa for a while, and I would just go to all the places that I want to go to, like Africa, New Orleans, and we're going to be there together. That's what I would do.
Get your travel on.
Get my travel on.
If someone asked about Antinette or Antinette Develops, what would you want them to say?
I would want them to say that that girl is serious about getting people together. She don't play no games. She is real, but she gonna help you achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. And I really would recommend her to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time to sitting down with Bumping My Gums. Like I said at the beginning, we were supposed to do this like months ago, but because it was so much stuff going on, we had to reschedule. So COVID didn't stop this. This actually
Happen now.
happened. We didn't have no excuses. There was no conflicts in the schedule. So this is really good. I'm glad that we had a chance to sit down. I am so proud of you. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this is my niece, my sister's baby girl. Not so much a baby anymore, but I am so proud of you, and I know that you are going to do great things.
Thank you, Auntie. I wasn't going to say it, but since she let the cat out the bag, thank you. I appreciate you so much.
No problem at all. Thank you for tuning in, Gummies. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so that you'll be notified when new content is posted. I will put all of Antinette's links down there, her Facebook page, her YouTube channel, and her website so that you can keep in touch with her and you can reach out to her if you need some development. Have a great day on purpose.